Okay, example 8 is a system. So again, since this one has two variables and two equations, we want to find the pair xy that work in both. So in this case, we can't do elimination because the equations don't look the same. So we'll have to do substitution. So you take one of the equations, you solve for one of the variables. This one's done. Y equals this. So you substitute what y is equal to in for y in the other equation. So this equation becomes this, x squared. Instead of having plus y squared, you put the x minus 28 in where the y is. Now you have an equation of one variable, and you start to simplify this side of the equation, and you get a quadratic. So you have to set it equal to 0. Now you're to here. If you wanted to, you could use a quadratic formula right on this. But what I noticed is all of these are even. So I'm going to divide every term by 2. Let's see. 384, 192, right? 384 divided by 2. 192. Now I have to think of two numbers that multiply to 192 that add to negative 128 or 128. So I'm going to go y equals and put in 192 divided by x and look at the table. And my table is kind of funky. It's counting by tenths. So in this case, I mean, there's my answer right there. 16 and 12 and 16, they add 28. But if I wanted to make my table look a little better, second table set, instead of counting by point ones, I'm going to count by ones. And now when I go to my table, I'm counting by ones here. 12 times 16 gives me 192, and those guys add to 28. So x minus 12 and x minus 16 equals 0. They add to negative 28. Negative times a negative is a positive. Now I got my two x's. Nope. X equals 12, x equals 16. Now I want to figure out the y's. So I take the equation that y is equal to and I put in what x is. And 12 minus 28 is a negative 16. Then over here, 16 minus 28 is a negative 12. Now the reason these are opposite is because this is a circle up here, so it's symmetric. That's not going to happen all the time. So 12 negative 16 is your one pair of xy that work in here, and 16 negative 12 is the other pair of x and y. So you take each x, find a y, and that gives you a pair of xy's, and you get two of them. So if you were to graph this, here's your circle. This is a line, crosses at negative 28 and a slope of 1. So it looks like this. So there's your 2 points where they would cross.